post and I'll message them and find out if they're legit
Okay,
or
thank
not.
you, Dennis. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let me make you a co-host, and if you could talk to them in the waiting room, I'll put them. Can you talk to people in the waiting room? I don't know, technically speaking.
Yes.
Be able to, yeah.
Okay, so let's go, and I'm going to put them in the waiting room. And
Wait, Alan is here. Alan is here. Alan, turn on the camera.
Oh, okay. Alan Covey, are you there? Hello, Alan. Okay, yeah. I don't believe I know you. If you could introduce yourself. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's okay for you to be here. We just like to welcome people and also make sure people aren't Zoom bombers. How did you find out about us? Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, no. Well, welcome. We can throw in the chat if Katie or someone else wants to throw the membership link, because unless you didn't pay dues or register in the last 24 hours or anything. No. Okay. So yeah, but you're still welcome. Please stay and rejoin the club. She'll put a link in the chat. Welcome back. So thanks for coming. Oh, great. Yeah, unfortunately, you won't be able to vote tonight, but but certainly we welcome you here and hope you'll come back. So thanks for no, great, thank you, because I know there are a lot of very good, thank you. No, all right. So John's iPhone. Did you get a read on this person, Dennis or Katie or?
I messaged him, but I haven't heard back from him.
Okay, so I will just leave that person there for now.
Hey, Paul, we have a live in-person guest too at Todd Jones's video. Maybe he can quickly say hi. His name is Tony.
Todd Jones, introduce your nice guest to us. Oh, David, is that David?
No, that's Tony.
Hi, it's David.
Oh, that's Tony. Okay, yeah, welcome, Tony. I've heard many good things about you from Professor Michelson. So welcome to you. And the link to join the club is there. We do allow a nice student membership for free. And so feel free to join our club. And welcome to your first Feel the Bern meeting. So great to have you here. And okay. So let's begin. Let me get the record button here. So we do record the candidate interview section. So I'm going to click record. So be forewarned.
Recording in progress.
There you go. See, there she comes. And so we will now go over to our candidate. Our first candidate of the evening is Raji Robb, running for the U.S. House of Representatives in California District 32 in the San Fernando Valley. And so as you all know, and as we told the candidates, but just to remind everyone, we give the candidates 5 minutes of monologue time for them to use as they choose. They can do a up to 5 minute opening if they want, but then that would curtail their closing time. We do let them at least give their links or whatever after they're done, but candidates typically take 3 or 4 minutes or up to 5 minutes for opening, and then we do up to 10 minutes of Q&A for their 15 minutes total. So however long you want to take for your opening is up to you, Raji. You have up to 5 minutes if you want to use it, but then that means you wouldn't have a closing statement. So let me start the timer here. And okay, let's get that going. Okay, so whenever you want to start, I'm ready if you are, Raji. And we can hear you, but the only thing is that you are a little bit. I don't know if your internet connection is really good. You seem to be like there seems to be maybe a little delay. Can you say something?
1, 2, 3. Hello?
The volume isn't very good either. You know what? Maybe turn off your video. I hate doing this to a candidate, but they say, and I've noticed, if you turn off the video and just go with the audio, then sometimes that makes the internet connection better. Let's try that again without the video, Raji.
Hello. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How are you?
It's very difficult to hear you. Boy, oh boy. Do you want to try calling in? We do have the call-in number on the link. The audio is very bad. Dennis says your mic is bad.
I think I lost you there.
Yeah. While we're doing that, let me say hi to Peter Mathews. Or Dennis just let him in. Peter Mathews is our next candidate. Peter, what we're going to do, we're having some technical difficulties with Raji Rob, our first candidate. Let me put you in the waiting room, I think, right now, and we'll get back to you shortly. Okay?
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about this.
No problem.
It'll be at least 15 minutes until your time because of this
Okay.
technical issue here. Unless, well, let's see. Are you there, Raji Rob?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out something here.
Boy, yeah, the audio is terrible for you. Okay. How about this, Raji? Are you still there, Peter Mathews?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. How about maybe switching the two of you? We'll let Raji figure out what's going on, perhaps with his audio difficulties, and maybe call in if you could, Raji, at 6:45 or by then, or fix your problems by then. We'll take 15 minutes now with Peter, just not to lose any more time, and then
Okay, so
that might resolve itself in 15 minutes. The phone number is there in the chat box, Raji, and also in the link I provided you. You might have to call in and interview with us by telephone, which is fine, but you obviously wouldn't be seen, you'd just be heard. But just in the interest of time, so we don't go till 10 o'clock tonight, let's take Peter now then. Okay, sorry about this technical difficulty, everyone. Let me let in Brandon Lamar, another candidate of ours, though, first. Karen Kwok, if you could introduce yourself and Nicholas Miller, just to make sure you're not Zoom bombers. We have admitted you, but are you there, Karen and Nicholas? Karen and Nicholas?
No, I'm still stuck in that.
Karen Kwok and Nicholas Miller?
Hi.
Hi. Are you campaign tonight, or are you guests of someone?
Yeah, my panel friends told me that this event was going on tonight, so I'm just here to listen to the candidates.
Great. Well, welcome. You're welcome to come and join the club. Katie Chan can throw the link in the chat. You wouldn't be able to vote tonight, but please feel free and welcome to be here tonight and join the club.
Well, I should warn you that I am also a candidate running for Glendale City Council, but that's not the capacity I'm here tonight.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
listen.
Okay. If you want to seek endorsement consideration from us, it's Feel the Bern. Feel the Bern. I'll put it in the chat. feeltheburnla@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Nicholas Miller, welcome to you as well. If you could introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Miller. Thank you. I'm actually on Peter Mathews'
Great.
campaign.
Great. Okay, welcome to you. Okay, so let's, while we wait for Raji to hopefully be okay around 6:45, let's take Peter Mathews right now. Peter is running for U.S. House District 42. And we actually did consider a couple of candidates already before in this race and didn't endorse them. So that leaves the endorsement open for Peter. Fortunately, emails that we had sent to Peter got bounced. I hadn't noticed that all of them bounced to various email addresses we tried. So nevertheless, we're glad we finally made touch. That's why he wasn't able to be here before and why we're taking him tonight. So welcome to you, Peter. Sorry about those communication difficulties, but again, we're glad to have you here tonight. You have up to 5 minutes for your opening statement. Most candidates take 3 or 4 or 4.5 minutes, and then that leaves them some time for their closing statement because you get 5 minutes, right, of monologue time, and then up to 10 minutes of dialogue time with us for Q&A after your opening statement. So if you are there, Peter Mathews, the floor is yours, and I'll start the timer. When you start talking.
Are you able to hear me? Is my voice loud enough?
Yeah, thankfully your video and audio is both working.
Okay.
So we are recording, and take it away, Peter.
Thank you so much, sisters and brothers of the Feel the Bern Democratic Club of Los Angeles, for having me here with you. It's a real pleasure and honor to be considered for endorsement. I would like to say how I got started in politics. What I think lit the spark or sowed the seed to begin with. I was born in India, and I was 10 years old when my parents brought me and my brothers and sisters back to America. We ended up realizing the American dream. But at the age of 9, when I was in India, 9 years old, I was walking home on a daily basis from my school. And when I got to my home, we had a large gate in front of the house, a nice wall around it. I suppose that's considered some security, whatever, but it was a beautiful place. My dad and mom were middle class. And every time I got to that door, that gate, almost every day, I would see about 4 or 5 people there. A couple of adults and then 3 or 4 little children. And I would say hello to them at the gate. And I would open the gate and go into my mom's kitchen, where mom was waiting with me with 2 plates of food and some money to give them. I knew exactly what that was for, because those people had the wonderful food that my mom had for them was so important, because when you look at when I came back and took the food back to the gate to hand it to them, to greet them once again, I saw that their hands were skin and bones. And the children were so emaciated, they probably hadn't eaten in a few days. The parents were the same as the children. And something must have been planted in my mind and my heart, a question of, how is it that I'm on this side of the gate, well-fed, well-clothed and loved and well-educated, and they're on the other side of the gate, emaciated, hungry, and very desperate in a lot of ways. And I guess the seed of questioning came into my mind about how can we bring the gates down in the world? How can we create opportunities for everyone to be able to fulfill their full human potential, and especially those who are exploiting. From one side, when some people are exploiting others to make them poor. Poverty is not a natural condition, folks, as you know. In America, in the world, in India, wherever it is, poverty is not a natural condition. It's a condition that's created by an unequal economic system, one in which the private means of production have gone out of control, and the profit making has become the only desire to live, and all human values have been cast aside in this system. And that is totally shameful. It is not ethical. And I think at that young age, something got in my heart and soul to say, how can we bring the walls down? How can we bring the gates down, but also provide opportunity for those parents who want to work, who want to raise their children and the kids to have a bright future, because that full God-given potential will never be realized if they cannot have enough food to eat. It starts with food and then moves on to other hierarchy of needs, right? Just as Maslow said, we begin with our physical, material needs have to be met first, then our social needs, then our needs of emotion and joy, and then self-actualization. As Karl Marx talked about, the infrastructure, the economic base being the foundation of the superstructure of the elements where we live as human beings, where we can enjoy art and travel and time with our children and family, if the economic base is guaranteed and taken care of. That's what my politics is about. To help build a society in which the economic base is fully functional, where we have enough jobs that are fulfilling and education is available for young children, universal education, tuition free from kindergarten to university medical school. That's always been my issue and my top issue. And healthcare guaranteed for all, single payer Medicare for all. Those kinds of things can really guarantee that every child will have a chance in life and every parent will be fulfilled because they'll feel like they're being able to accomplish what they're on this earth for, to give the next generation an opportunity. After they express themselves, it's got to be passed on. So this is what we have to do. Climate change, the overarching issue of everything. Climate change, none of this stuff will count unless we fix the climate, stop the global warming. We have got a terrible time frame. It's very short, but we have to take it and seize it. It's got to be 10 years within which we bring us to net zero. We cannot wait for 20 years or 15 years. It has to be within 10 years that we get clean electricity, clean energy completely, and move over to a modern electric grid and decentralize our economy to some extent where there's local production, but also when there's production further away, it has to be transported by clean energy trains. It has to be transported by people being able to, make their food locally and then have local production in many ways. But most importantly, if we don't do this right now with climate change, the United Nations IPCC reported recently that we are at 1.1 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial levels. If we get to 1.5, it's all off. Right now, we're having all these fires. We're having cyclones and hurricanes everywhere, and that will just get worse and worse. And my daughter is 10 years old. My daughter, Paige, is 10 years old. And she and her mom, Latoya, we see that this is the future of our family. Our daughter's a beautiful little girl that will never see the fulfillment of her dreams if we don't get on this climate change issue. That's number one. So the climate change and that issue of stopping it and going to renewable energy should all encompass everything. So that's connected to Medicare for all, because Medicare for all will also include production of organic food, rewarding small family farmers to produce good nutrition so our children can eat good lunches in schools and be healthy, and then that'll reduce the cost of healthcare as well. It could also go with education. Our school buildings, we have on-site scientific labs in the school where the children learn how construction works, how green building and technology works. Everything should be green. Homelessness, 100% is the top priority is also for me to end homelessness. I believe in what's called housing first, which they tried in Utah, where people are unhoused on the streets. They are brought in by social workers and told they have an opportunity to go and live in an apartment, and the state pays for it, and all the social services then come after they get situated in permanent housing. We also have to build housing, affordable housing for people. It has to be totally green housing. That's the kind of vision that I see. And, I do believe that the Old Testament has something good to offer, and as do many other philosophical books. And this says, there's a Proverbs 29:18 in the Old Testament, where there's no vision, the people perish. Where there's no vision, the people perish. And I'll tell you something, we don't have the kind of vision we need right now, the vision of Dr. Martin Luther King, the vision of Eleanor Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders is a man who I got to meet a few years ago. I was able to actually shake his hand. We decided to run in 2015 and give him a copy of my book. And Bernie Sanders was an inspiration to so many millions of us, as you know, your own club, because he's a genuine human being who believes in equality and justice for all, and environmental justice especially. So Sanders has inspired me. I worked for him. I campaigned for him heavily. I did videos for him back in 2015 and 2016. And our campaign today is based on a Sanders AOC type of platform and a style that says no corporate money needed. We'll go door to door, and we're going to go out to meet people more and do it that way. So there are many other issues. I'd rather stop talking and have you ask me questions and find out who I really am. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being with you.
Thank you, Peter. Unfortunately, I got distracted. I actually gave you too much time.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
But, take it as a gift. But that means that you won't, unfortunately, have much time for a closing statement. We do allow candidates who do meet or exceed 5 minutes to at least, say goodbye and put their links in the chat. But now we'll proceed to question and answer. And so questions from the floor, any questions from Peter Mathews's questionnaire? I don't believe I have any based on the questionnaire, but if any of you do, feel free. And to learn more about this candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives, Peter Mathews. Yeah, thanks for putting your link there.
I'll also put my cell phone, because that's important that people can I give out my cell phone to all the voters.
Don't do it orally, because we are recording this, but if you wish to chat.
I can chat, type it in.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, type it in the chat?
If you want to, it's up to you. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay, I see two hands up, Linda Perez and Todd Jones. Linda is first in the order here of hands. So Linda, take it away.
Thank you, Paul. I just wanted to know, what are you running for, Mr. Mathews? I didn't hear that. I have a very bad connection.
Yeah. Linda lost her internet connection there for a while.
Yeah, 4 times already.
We're running for the US representatives.
Yeah. Linda, it's nice to meet you, Linda. My name is Peter Mathews. I'm running for Congress for the U.S. representative in House District 42, which includes Long Beach, Lakewood, Bellflower, Downey, and also the Southeast LA Sela area, which includes Huntington Park and Vernon and other cities. Those are a very big district.
And it's a newly designed district through redistricting. Yes, it is. It has been redistricted. So Todd Jones, take it away. Unless Linda, you had something else.
No, I didn't hear the answer because I went deaf again.
Oh, sorry. No, Peter was just saying the cities and areas that are included in his House district, which is number 42, Southeast LA, Gateway Cities area, including Long Beach or part of Long Beach, right? Right. I don't believe it's
about two thirds of Long Beach, and also part of Lakewood and Downey, most all of Downey.
Right. Okay. So,
and what are you running for, Mr. Mathews?
The House of Representatives, U.S. Congress, the House of Representatives.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Todd, take it away.
Hello.
Hello, Todd.
Sorry about that.
Echo there. Is that Tony?
It's Tony.
Yeah. Did you have a question, Tony?
Recently, House Progressive under Pramila Jayapal failed to pass Build Back Better, despite having promises guaranteed by Democrats such as Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi. Do you think it's possible for leadership under the House Progressive to improve in the House of Representatives?
Absolutely. It's time that we held progressive to the real meaning of the word. Build Back Better started off with $6 trillion that Bernie proposed as the budget chairperson, $6 trillion, and it was whittled down to $3.5 trillion, which I think would have been okay. I would rather have $6 trillion investment, but $3.5 trillion is what we needed. Now, then it was brought to $2 trillion, and it still couldn't pass because of corporate Democrats like Manchin and Sinema. And these House progressives should not pull back and give in to the corporate elite. They should be firm, and the American people want it. American people, 70% or more support Build Back Better at $3.5 trillion. And that's what should be done. Social infrastructure, we're talking about childcare, elder care. We're talking about after-school programs. We're talking about things that will help us live in a humane way and have physical infrastructure, a new grid, having rooftop solar, having those things that would have been really helpful, electric car subsidies, but trains especially, and buses, electric buses. That would have been the way to go. I would right now go back and say to Pramila Jayapal, the progressive chair, and say, look, it's time that we really act progressive and just stick to the $3.5 trillion. Let's build some more support for it, bring new people in so you can have the votes to bring the $3.5 trillion investment at least. It's a Green New Deal that we need.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry, I was muted. Did you have a follow-up, Tony or Todd? Or were you done? Okay. All right. Okay, so next in the stack of hands is Juan, Joey Martinez. Take it away, Juan, or Joey.
Juan?
Hi there. If Peter Mathews were to gain that seat, he would be representing me in my district. Given that one of his opponents is funded by charter schools, I would like to know what he feels is the future of California schools and what he would like to see in our communities in regards to public funding.
Yes, I would completely support much more funding, full funding for public schools, especially low-income schools, to bring their income up to the high-income school area. Let me give you an example. In Linwood, right next to our district, the per pupil spending is $7,500 a year. That's it, because it's based on property taxes mostly. In Northern California, Marin County, it is $23,000 a year. $7,500 down here in Southeast LA, and $23,000 in Marin County. And these kids up here in Marin County, they have organic food, they have an organic garden, they have all the latest computer technology, the latest textbooks. And young people here are suffering in classes that have over 30 per student per class, 30 students per class. overcrowded schools. So what I would do, Juan, is I'm totally against the charter school solution because it's mostly going to become, it's private, a way of privatizing our schools. It's allowing private entities to take charge of charter schools, and that's not right. It's not public schools. We need fully funded, equally funded public schools that would bring in fully qualified teachers, pay them a living wage they can actually buy a home with it. Teachers are very important, K through 12 especially, and we have to fully fund it by cutting our defense budget by 20%, stop all that waste and fraud and abuse in the military, and stop the unnecessary wars, cut that out, and bring the money back to people here so we can have equal funding for schools, tuition-free university and college, but K through 12 especially, and especially in our area, really, really needs help. And I will fight very hard for that and oppose charter schools all the way. Was I clear on that? Any questions on that?
Just a follow-up statement. Charter schools are destroying it in one big cut of hay, and we're seeing these charter schools that are skipping environmental impact reports and just getting loopholes. So I just wanted to hear what you thought about it. And I'm grateful for the club about how it asked this question.
Yeah, you kind of broke up, but I think that's the gist of the question, that in Cudahy and other places, charter schools have been skipping environmental impact reports because they're like a business. They may call themselves public or nonprofit, but they are making a lot of money. And the Green Dot School is a great example. And this is wrong to let charter schools come in here, avoid the environmental regulations, and destroy our communities and our health of our communities. It's an environmental justice issue, and it's an issue of unregulated capitalism. We got to make sure that education, public education, is truly public and nonprofit and fully funded and equally funded, like in Finland. I mean, I'm very knowledgeable about the Finland system because I visited Finland, and they have the best high school graduate scores when they come out of high school because all the schools are equally funded. It doesn't matter where you live, and the best school is your neighborhood school. Same curriculum, teachers are fully paid, and the small class sizes, and children can learn on their own in a group setting, on an individual basis and group basis on their own pace. And it's also exploratory learning. It's a beautiful system. We need that here, and we need the food here at the lunches. Our school lunches are atrocious in the United States from 90% of our children. And that's what's causing obesity, diabetes, all kinds of things. Asthma rates from the pollution along the 710 freeway. We are just not doing justice to our children. It's absolutely outrageous. I don't see why politicians are out there protesting in front of schools and actually saying, we'll bring the money in and get the parents with them to support. How will you be doing that as a congressperson?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, next hand up, Lou Cruz. Are you there, Lou? Did you have a
Sorry
question?
about that. I was trying to find the mute button.
Unmute button, yeah.
Okay. I think Melanie was ahead of me, though.
Well, they do it in order of raised hand.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I'm a public school teacher, Mr. Mathews, and right now I work for a district where Lake Hole allowed KIPP charter school to come in. And we are currently fighting it, the teachers and I, at the one elementary school. And we do not have any support from the union, the district, even though the school board members voted no, LACO intervened, and that was the superintendent, Darate. She allowed them and she wanted them in. And so we're fighting that, and it's a continuous battle. But I just read about Andy Bashir, who wait a minute, let me just look at it really quick. He vetoes charter school funding bill. Now, I just read the title, so I haven't gotten real deep into it. And we're kind of stumped because we are protesting, we're holding rallies, we're calling the school board, we're going to be focusing on LACO and the superintendent, which I told them a year ago, let's focus on that. So, what would you suggest that we do? How could we fight that, since you appear to be pro public schools?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I'd like to know, come and join you. I'll come join you in the protest, and we'll bring people as well. But that's so important to get more people to know that this is an insidious way of privatizing our schools. Charter schools is a way of privatizing our schools ultimately, and even now, it's totally unequal because the parents who can afford to put this together and bring in some private entity, their children get some of the best education, and the other children are left in the lurch. And even charter schools are not complying fully with the curriculum. So We need to go back to public schools. I'll come out there and actually join you. I can come as early as you want me to, even this coming week. I'm available in the afternoons. When are you usually out there to protest and to late?
We're looking at the dates of Lake Hole because we want to go out there and protest. One of our biggest beef is that both Lake Hole and our school board still have meetings on Zoom, even though we as teachers are back in the classroom in front of students, in front of everybody, and everybody's going grocery shopping. Come on. Everybody's going out there to get gas, and yet even our union has everything on Zoom. And I don't think that's fair.
No, it's not fair. That's part of the inequity of our system. It's a very unfair system in so many ways, and this is one example you're talking about. And COVID has disproportionately affected lower and moderate income people, and the whole thing has to be brought back to equity. So I would like to come out there and join that line with you and protest. And if I can get some media there, I'll work whatever I can, because I also worked on media for a long time these last few years on television, and I did.
Thank you. How would I be able to get hold of you, sir? Do you want to put it in the chat?
I would. It's in the chat. I've given you my cell number. My cell number is in there, actually.
Don't give it. Don't give it.
I won't give it out.
But if you want to put it in you did put it in the chat, so it's there. Yes. Also, Peter's
and my website is there too, which has everything.
Oh yeah.
It has to be done.
Okay, we're running short on time. I do want to get to one last question, but then our 10 minutes is certainly up for Q&A, unfortunately. So we'll have to limit this answer to just 1 minute. Melanie, are you there?
Hello? I am. I'm here.
Okay.
Hi, Peter. Thank you very much for your honesty on the environment. You said we have 10 years. Guess what? The United Nations and EDD say we have 4 years, and I tend to agree with them. So my question to you is, what can we do immediately to right the ship? Bernie is in Congress trying to introduce a bill to bring monies from the Defense Department to stop climate change, considering that the Defense Department is the #1 polluter in the world.
Yes, it really is. And we have to expose that and put it out there. And Bernie's doing a good job, but all of us have to get on this, because you may be right. They just may be 4 or 5 years at the most, the way things are skyrocketing with the global ice caps melting, all kinds of things going on, sea level rising. I wrote a book called Dollar Democracy on Steroids, with liberty and justice for some, how to reclaim the American dream for all. And the first chapter is on climate change. So I would like to give that book to everyone in the group and just give it out to you guys who like. But more importantly, what I like to do is to really raise the alarm on climate change even further. And I agree with you. It's maybe shorter than the 10 years you're talking about. And Bernie and other people have to rally us and get the defense budget cut back, way back, because then a whole chapter in my book also shows we spend $780 billion. Now it's gone up to 800. President Biden's asking for $813 billion a year, more than the next 10 countries in a row put together. And we can cut that defense budget and bring the money in by taxing billionaires and closing corporate loopholes. And so there's money. There is money available. We just have to set our priorities right and get that going. And I would be there for you. It's all about speaking out. And what you're doing is wonderful. We'll get more people involved and join some of the climate justice groups and really fight this fight and get up there. That's why I'm trying to get to Congress. I'll have even a bigger megaphone to help you further.
Okay. Unfortunately, that concludes our Q&A time. And we are running behind, so we do have to move on. But thank you very much for coming, Candace Mathews. And you have left your contact info in the chat for people who want to get in touch with you or stay in touch with you. And hopefully we'll be in touch with you going forward as a club too. We'll let you know the outcome of the vote, which we'll proceed to now, but we're going to have to remove you and from the room and any non-voter to get this. Sure. So again, thank you for coming. We'll be in touch.
Wonderful. Great to be and meet you guys finally, at least on Zoom. One day we'll meet in person. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Peter. Okay, so let me now pause the recording, everyone. Let's pause.
Recording stopped.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is remove the non-voters from the room. So unfortunately, Alan, we're going to temporarily put you in the waiting room. And